Hey everybody, it's Greg Goebel, founder and CEO of Flip the Switch and Get Your Dream Life. This evening I want to talk to you about something that is so prevalent in our society. In fact, it's so prevalent that most people aren't even cognizant of the fact that it's taking place around them. So what am I talking about? Well, let's unpack this. Let's unwrap this and take a look a little bit further into what this whole topic is all about. Well, this evening, I want to talk about your signature. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, my signature, well, what's that got to do with flipping the switch and getting my dream life, Greg? That's not why I came on here to talk about my signature. But the thing about it is I'm not talking about your hand signature here. I'm talking about your energetic signature. It's the way that you show up in life. And it's kind of like a radio station of sorts. What's the first thing that we do when we get into our car? Well, of course, we might turn on the ignition. We're going to adjust the heat or maybe the air. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to turn out our tunes. We want to jam a little bit to some of the music that we like. And it could be country music. It could be rock and roll, R&B. It depends on the type of music that we like. It's our preference. And the key word here is our choice. And trust me, as human beings, we make these choices all day long about how we're going to show up. Now, we've all met these people who are in that type of mindset where they're coming from Q99, I hate my life, it's terrible, look what my mom did to me, I just don't know what to do. It's one of those type of low frequency people. And then we've also met those people from 89.1. I love my life. The Spirit of God is working in and through me, and I just love it. And those people obviously are more positive, they're more upbeat, and they're coming from a higher frequency. And so regardless if you're at a low frequency or if you're at a higher frequency, you're resonating at a level that can affect other people. It's like that pebble, that metaphoric pebble that's been thrown onto the lake or to the pond, and it can directly affect so many people around us. And it definitely can affect yourself as well. And that's what we want to talk about, is that baseline vibration that sets the stage for how we show up in life. And at a certain point in our life, we do have to ask ourselves this important question. Is life happening to me, or is life happening through me? Because there truly is a huge difference, and we don't want to live life by default. We want to consciously create what we want into this world. And we also have to remember there are no victims, only volunteers. Let me reiterate that again, because that's really important. There are no victims, only volunteers. And I have to say too that as a life coach, I am not immune or exempt from experiencing some low vibration energy myself. From time to time, I do go into a spiral, and I think we as humans all do that constantly here and there on a regular basis. But the key important thing here is not to resonate at a low frequency for a very long period of time, because like attracts like. And of course, the more that we do that, we're only going to create more negative vibes, more negative things in our lives. And that's the thing that most people don't recognize. And I do get off track from time to time. And just recently, I went to the doctor, and my gosh, you know what? She diagnosed me with high blood pressure. I was like, wow, how could that be? Because I've always taken care of myself. I'm healthy, I've lifted weights, I've always eaten the right foods for the most part. And so I was just taken back, and I went into that spiral. And for a couple of days, I was just sitting there wallowing in my stuff, wondering, oh my gosh, how do I get out of this? My mindset was just not where it needed to be. And then finally, I saw the opportunity. I didn't want to have high blood pressure or hypertension. I didn't want to have these things. I didn't want to have a heart attack or a stroke in the future. So I practically applied the idea of, I guess I need to take my medication. So I'm going to take my medication. That's the first thing that I want to do. And then the other thing is I wanted to analyze this a little bit and say, you know what? This is an opportunity for me to eat better, because in the past 6 months, I really do need to clean up my diet in the first place. I've made a few errors here and there with eating some sweets and that type of thing. And maybe reduce my salt intake. And so that's what I decided to do, and that's what I'm doing, and I feel so much better for it. It truly was an opportunity for me. I raised my vibration. And we can shift our perception. All of us can shift our perception just like that. We can have a better day at any given moment. All we got to do is change our perception and change our perspective, and we can do it in a heartbeat. And you know what? It's just so interesting to watch people when they make that change, they make that shift, and all of a sudden the light comes on, and within their body temple, they feel lighter, they feel freer, and they feel good about who they are. A perfect example of that would be a friend of mine who recently was so inspired because he was watching my Facebook Live from, I think, the last time that I did one. And he was also inspired from a conversation that we had back in December of last year. He was ready to make a change. He was ready to raise his vibration because he really wasn't in a good spot. And so consequently, that's what he decided to do. He was going to make a change in his life. He quit his job. He got a new occupation. And let me tell you what, his demeanor, everything about him has just been lifted, and you can tell that he is free and more confident in everything that he's doing, and it's just absolutely wonderful. And that's what flipping the switch is all about. It's where we consciously create the world that we want to see, where we do it differently, where we show up differently. And we do this by utilizing our superpower of choice. Did you all know that you have the superpower of choice? Because you do. My God, it's absolutely incredible, because every day we wake up, we use that superpower of choice. We get to decide if I'm going to wear red or blue, if we're going to go to the grocery store, if we're going to see a friend. We constantly utilize it, but we might not be cognizant of the fact that we're utilizing it on a regular basis. The key here is to be aware of your thought processes. It's to be aware of what's going on in your world so that you can make that shift if you're coming from a lower frequency. I see this all the time with my clients where they go through this incredible change where things start happening for them, and there's this incredible energy behind what's happening, and miracles start taking place in their life, and they're so excited, and they're always wondering why, and I have to turn to them and I have to gently remind them that, you know what, basically what you've done is you've raised your vibration to a new level. You've raised it. You flipped that switch. And they're like, oh, yeah, I get it now. And, that's what I want to do for you this evening. I want to do the same thing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer you a free gift. For the first 3 people who comment below my video, these words, I'm in. If you comment, I'm in, the first 3 people, I'm going to give you a 30-minute free session where we can analyze and take stock and inventory of your energetic signature so we can see what's going on with you, and hopefully we can flip that switch and move you in a new direction. We can move that needle so that you've raised your vibration and you feel better about what's going on in your life. I'm what they call an action-based mentor. And what that means is I like to see people make a change in their life. I'm going to move them from point A to point B, and I'm definitely going to hold your hand. But there are some times where I'm going to kick your butt to move you forward in your life, because after all, isn't that what we're all doing here, is try to move forward either spiritually, mentally, psychologically, any sort of way. We're trying to always advance ourselves on some level. And that's why I'm here, in order to help you do that. And in turn, you definitely help me, I have to tell you. And I have to also say that I'm so grateful and so thankful to all of you for those folks who have liked, who have shared, who have watched my video. It means the world to me. It's made a difference in my life in such a short period of time as I opened up my business here. And so I just want to leave you with this. Life is a banquet, and most people are starving to death. I just hope this evening that you choose to feast upon life so that you can enjoy all the intangibles of the soul. There's a divine inheritance for you this evening. All the joy, all the love, all the peace, everything that you possibly could think of is yours for the taking. All you got to do is raise that vibration. Raise it high. Analyze what's going on in your life right now. Are you pissed off at the world? Are you mad at your mom? What's going on? Just take a look and decide, I'm going to do it differently, and I'm going to consciously create what I want in my world. You're the artist with the paintbrush. And if you don't like what you're painting, let it dry, take a breather, and then just paint over it and start all over again. Again, I'm just so grateful for all of you. I hope you have a good evening. Peace out, and we'll talk to you next time. Night.